So are you ready to PR yourself? We'll remove the mystery from all things PR, and we'll discuss everything from our top strategies to tips and tricks and everything that you can utilize to further enhance your brand or your message. I've been in media, I'm a journalist, and I'm also a publicist. I am Leah Frazier, CEO of Think3 Media, and your host for PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. Let's go. And welcome back to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. I am your host, Leah Frazier, CEO of Think3 Media. And this is the space where you, the entrepreneur, the creator, the go-getter, this is where you learn how to elevate your message, own your narrative, and build the visibility that you deserve. And I want to say, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am thrilled that you are joining us today. I'm excited to be back. Our last episode, we heard from the incredible Fawn Weaver, the CEO of Uncle Nearest Whiskey. I know the audio was a little sketchy, but I try to get y'all those exclusives, you know? I mean, even if it means putting my recorder out on my phone and trying to catch whatever nuggets that I can. So amazing, amazing episode. A lot going on here. We're ushering in the Thanksgiving holidays. So if you, the listener, have not sat down and figured out how you can position yourself for some of these last minute media pitches for the holidays, that's what I want you to do. Under the sound of my voice, if you're listening to this podcast, once you get done listening to this one, I want you to figure out Thanksgiving's already here and gone. Sometimes they do last minute Thanksgiving ideas, but I think you may have missed the train on that one. So we're going to go ahead and think about Christmas or the holidays, shopping. We have Small Business Saturday coming up, the day or the Saturday after Thanksgiving. We have Black Friday, we have New Year's. So that's where I want your brain to go, okay? And see how you can position yourself, whether it's you personally as the thought leader or your organization or your business. How can you tie in what it is that you do or what it is that you specifically specialize in to the holiday seasons? So, for example, I know I have a lot of publicists that listen to this podcast. So hello, because you guys know that there is no sleep. So if you're in the food business, we have been pitching holiday cocktails, Thanksgiving meal ideas, last minute Thanksgiving meal ideas. These are the places that are open on Thanksgiving, here's what would make for great leftovers, so it's constantly reworking, these ideas to see where we could fit. And I'm talking about across all verticals. I'm talking across pitching these across your local news or morning shows, or it could be radio. I was listening this morning, shout out to Dee Dee McGuire here in Dallas on K104 FM, and they were talking about seasonal depression. So if you're a counselor or a therapist, one of the big things people always want to tackle is dealing with their emotions and dealing with anxiety and depression and some of our mental health issues during the holidays, because sometimes the holidays just ain't good for everybody. Okay. So that is a way that an expert can come in and take advantage of the holiday season to provide visibility for themselves or their businesses. So that's what I want you to do, is take a step back after you listen to this episode and see, is there a way that I can wedge myself in, and then getting it in front of whether it's that editor, whether it's that producer. And if you don't know who to reach out to, again, on this podcast, we have covered that is a lame excuse. Send it through the contact form on the site. Some of those news sites allow you to choose the actual show that it goes to and put yourself out there. Okay. Get in on some of these last minute pitches. The best thing about the holidays, and I wasn't even supposed to be talking about this today. What I love so much about the holidays, and I was actually talking to this about someone else that's in the field, is that this is the time where everybody goes on snooze. This is the time where everybody relaxes. This is the time where people are with their families. And around the holidays, when everybody is pressing snooze, this is when I go hardcore. This is when I'm trying to rack up as many appearances, segments, like if the radio station or the news station or those people aren't on vacation, which some of them, again, you just have to put yourself out there and they'll tell you who's out or who's rotating or what their plans are, or these are the days where we're going to do reruns and things like that. But for the days that they aren't, and I know everybody is at home snuggled up in a onesie next to the fire, Leah is not. Leah is putting her clients out, pitching them to see like, hey, if y'all are looking for story ideas, because I know everybody's on snooze right now, here's what my clients can do. And I let my clients know, you may get a call from me. If they book you and they want you on January 2nd, the day after New Year's, because they ain't got nothing else, you need to be ready to go on TV. And they're fine with it. And we'll get a segment however we can get it. So that is your homework. I've never given you guys homework. This is a PR yourself first. Get after it. So today's episode, I'm kind of thinking about starting a segment. So you guys kind of let me know what you think. And it's kind of like water cooler chat. So those of you back in the day when we actually went into our corporate jobs and we all collected around the water cooler on breaks and gossiped and spilled tea and all that other stuff. That's what I'm thinking this is. So it's kind of, I'm titling this Overheard in the Newsroom. ... And I may change it because not everybody has a newsroom. You know, I deal with influencers, live streamers, podcasters, producers, editors, journalists, blah, blah, blah. But I just like the way it sounds. So Overheard in the Newsroom, ... And what this segment entails are the things that the news professionals or the press or the media tell me in some sort of pseudo confidence, because I'm not telling their name, the things that we have water cooler chat about that typically are things that you guys are doing that they're just not outwardly telling you annoy them, or I may get a text that's like WTF, and then they tell me what has happened. And sometimes it's with people that I have sent their way. So I am not anywhere near, I'm not above getting disciplined here. So some of this is stuff that I've heard feedback on as well. It may be a WTF. It may be, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I can't stand this type of thing. But I'm compiling all of it. And it's like, hey, overheard in the newsroom is that too many of you guys are doing X, Y, and Z. And what better place than to come here so that you don't embarrass yourself and you can check yourself if you're doing these things. So today's episode is going to kick off Overheard in the Newsroom. I'm thinking about reaching out to some of my media folks and making it super fun and, having them actually, so you can hear it straight from the horse's mouth. But for right now, it's more like tea. For right now, it's just gossip. It's straight from the text. It's straight from the group chat. It's straight from the damn water cooler, where you're going to hear 5 things that were overheard in the newsroom where you need to get it together. If we're PRing ourselves, we are PRing ourselves because we want to get asked back again and again and again. We want to be on the top of the list when you get that text that I often get from a couple of news stations here. What do you got for me this week? That comes with being prepared. That comes with being reliable. That comes with being consistent. And that comes with giving them great content and great interviews time and time and time again, and not doing any of this stuff that I'm going to talk to you about today. Okay. So get your pen, your paper ready, or maybe your shame that, oh my God, this was me. Just kidding. There's no shame on this show. We've all done it. I screwed up a couple of weeks ago and I thought about doing a segment about a screw up that I did. So it is okay. We're just here to get better. So what we're going to do, we are going to take a quick break and again, run off, go use the bathroom, go pour some coffee, get your pen, get your paper. And when we come back, it will be 5 things that I've recently overheard in the newsroom, straight from the water cooler to your speakers, and you're going to want to tune in. We'll be right back. When you're the bottleneck in every major decision, growth isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter. Since 2002, Integrality has helped entrepreneurs improve their operations through consulting, accelerator programs, and AI-driven platforms like Capixi. Our expert team delivers strategic solutions that drive profitable growth and reclaim valuable time. Ready to build a business that runs without you? Visit integralityllc.com and start your evolution today. Remember sitting in your office dreaming of creating a home that's truly a sanctuary, where every sunrise held promise and every sunset brought peace? As life evolves, imagine waking up in a luxury tiny home among towering pine trees with a peaceful pond and open meadows, just minutes from the city that built your success. At Tiny Renaissance Homes, accomplished professionals rediscover what truly matters. Live happy, live healthy, live tiny. Experience glamping retreats, wellness activities, and smart investment opportunities. Your Renaissance awaits. Visit tinyrenaissancehomes.com for more information. All right, we're back. Some of these you're going to be like, yeah, Leah, that wasn't like hot tea, but baby, let me tell you, some of y'all are not getting this right, okay? So first off, first complaint, or first thing I always get a little bit of like a little nudge on is attire. What are you guys wearing to your interviews, especially those ones that are on camera? Now, if you're not on camera and you want to be in your leggings, your jeggings, your Croc slides, or whatever you want to do, that's your own prerogative. We can't see you. Your voice sounds great. Your voice sounds like you look like $1 million. All right. But what are you, sometimes when you guys are on TV, it's like, what are you wearing? So recently, maybe a month or so ago, I had a friend reach out and said, hey, I have a friend coming in from LA, needs a little bit of, attention for an event she's doing in Dallas. Can you help me out? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. The event she had was absolutely amazing. I agreed. It did need to be publicized. And I said, hey, I'm just going to shoot it off to a couple of folks. Don't even worry about it. So I send it off to one of the producers at a morning show. She loved it. She booked it. And because it had to do with a certain topic in the industry, we needed kind of like the person that had utilized the service to come and talk about how effective the service was. And I just thought it was common sense and common knowledge, ladies, that you're not going to go on TV with your jugs out. You know what I mean? Like, wear some drawers. I mean, the feedback I got, and luckily they knew it was not my client. They knew that I was just passing on a cool event in Dallas, blah, blah, blah. But apparently the person had came to the station, and it was so revealing what the person was wearing that they had to safety pin her dress, the top of her dress. They weren't clear on whether she had undergarments on underneath, and had to, and sometimes when you go to the news stations, you can stand up for an interview, and depending on how they set up the segment, you may be sitting down in a chair. And I believe that she was sitting down in a chair, and they were a little bit concerned whether or not, like the dress would be long enough. Like, it was a whole situation. So I got the WTF text after the segment was done. Luckily, they were able to pin her up and do whatever. She did not have a change of clothes. So it was a whole situation. But believe it or not, to you and I, or some of the listeners out there, we would think that attire is a no-brainer. That's easy when it comes to PR and ourselves. Leah, I don't need a fashion lesson, but you will not believe the number of people that do not show up properly and represent themselves in the best light when it comes to attire with these appearances. I don't care if you're doing a video podcast appearance. You show up like you're about to present to, I don't know why maybe the United Nations is in my head because of all the news that's going on lately, but present like it's the King of Zamunda. That's how I need you to show up, with all the bells and the whistles, because what you want to imprint in their minds is like, wow, first off, how you how you portray yourself is how they perceive what you're talking about. It's how they perceive your business. It's how they perceive the services you provide. When you go on and you look like a hot mess and you look like you didn't put anything into how you rolled out of bed and showed up that morning, that's exactly how people are perceive the business or whatever it is that the services that you're providing or you're delivering. You owe it to yourself to show up as professional as possible. I do understand that the term professional has evolved over the years and that it's a little bit less dignified, if that's how you would coin it, than how business casual and all of these terms have been coined over the years. However, it ain't changed that much. We don't want your stuff falling all out. We want you to wear drawers, like these are just the basics, people. These are just the basics. And what I love about some of our shows here, they'll even tell you, don't wear green just in case there's a green screen behind you, stay away from the color yellow. And like some of these there's some other colors and, not a lot of busy prints, things like that. So attire is one of the ones I get is like, what is she or what are they wearing? We had one last thing before I move on. We were doing a line dancing segment and it was so much fun. And again, producer was excited. We had a celebrity coming into town, but they wanted me to bring in dancers to kind of dance the line dance with the celebrity. And one of the girls walked in and she had like a crop top on. And the first thing I said was like, are you going to be able to pull that down? Do you have a camisole top? This is a family friendly show. Like we can't, no, you can't. And you walked out the house and you thought this was okay. Like what are we doing here? And even with the jeans, it's a family friendly show. So I went over to the person that I helped or that I didn't hire her, but I had her soliciting some of the dancers for me for the segment. And I was like, if we can't get this right and we don't get the thumbs up from the producer, she can't be in the segment. We're just going to have to go with 3 dancers versus the 4. And so attire. Think about where you're headed. Think about the audience that's perceiving it. Think twice. And, ask a friend. Invest in a mirror where you can do a complete 360 and see what goods are being shown to the world before you walk out the door. All right. So attire. Number 2, this one has come up quite a bit lately at the different stations here in Dallas. I'm not sure how they are across or what the procedures are across a lot of the news stations. I'm assuming that a lot of them are crafting out these procedures because when my client and I did a segment in Houston last year, I do believe that they had very, very tedious instructions. But you guys, this is strictly for in-person interviews. All right. And this could be a podcast in-person interviews. Please stop bringing 50 people in your entourage to these interviews. I get it. It's exciting. You got booked. I get it. Social media is telling you that you have to look like the Hollywood star and the celebrity that you are and that you have to get all this behind the scenes footage and you have to look like things are moving and shaking for you and that you're the shit. Trust me, I get it because I advise my clients to get that same footage, put in their stories, let people know what you're doing. But to have a 20-person entourage, and y'all think I'm joking, I am not. I have been mortified when I have booked segments and people tell me, this person is coming. And I send that one person to the producer and we show up on the day of the show and 10 people walk through that door and most of them have cameras. And I'm like, no, well, you guys got to stay here in the lobby. Like, we didn't clear this. Please stop showing up with these full-fledged entourages. And if you have a team, which good for you, I'm not saying you can't. If you have a team that does your content, that does your social and all of that, grabs all your footage for you, you need to clear with the media outlet first just how many people can come with you. And then you need to clear what type of footage they're able to take. So I have a couple of news stations here in Dallas now. One won't even let the publicists go back. It's gotten so bad. So it's like, yeah, we'll take your client. They won't let you take any pictures, any videos. They'll take it and they'll send it to you. But yeah, So for one station, I'm like, well, we'll just do it outside the station since I know we're not going to get it on set. And then there's another station where you can film while the interview, you can have somebody film you while you're being interviewed, but they can only film within certain parameters in the newsroom. Like you can't get other people, you can't get other items. It's a whole situation. And I would say a lot of y'all had just ruined it for everybody. Stop bringing 10 to 20 person's teams when you're getting these interviews and clear who you can bring and get your footage that way. All right. So stop with these entourages. It's annoying. Okay. You're the shit, but you ain't that shitty. You're the shit, but you ain't the shit. All right. Number 3, I'm just kind of all over the place with this. These are just, again, it's overheard in the newsroom. So one may not have anything to do with the other. Number 3, y'all, we talked about this. I get it. Thank you, OpenAI. Thank you, ChatGPT. But I need y'all to stop writing full-fledged press releases in AI. That's what I need you to do. That is not a winning PR communication strategy. I have talked about this till I'm blue in the face. And again, I got a joking text from a journalist. Actually, we went back and forth last week about the number of press releases she gets that are 100% AI. And she just laughed. She's like, I can't do anything with this. Like there's not one human thought in there. And I get it. We have so much we have to do during the day. We're just trying to get things off of our plate. We're trying to get our clients booked. Having AI help you to craft ideas and to kind of, for you to brain dump and for it to kind of organize it for you is one thing. But having AI to completely do the thing for you, especially in PR, is a no-no. And some people don't think it's a big deal, but I'll tell you why it is. A lot of, let's just say it's a digital media outlet or an online magazine or something of that nature. Okay, most of them have AI policies, and you have to disclose if any AI has been used in crafting the article or whatever you're publishing online. Some of them, and I write for one of these publications, don't want you to use AI at all. At all. Everything in the body of the article has 100% has to come from the journalist, okay? So if you're sending me something and it's 100% AI, I can't, and a lot of journalists, especially with quotes and things of that, we want to be able to copy and paste and dump it into our, word editor or whatever we're using. And if you've done it 100% out of AI, I can't trust what's factual, what the machine did, what you did. And so it's a no for me. It's a no. And so that was one of the things that one of the journalists was going back and forth with me is like the number of press releases she's getting in AI. Again, use it to help. Let's say you have the title on your press release and it's like, I need this to be a little bit tighter. Or can you make this more SEO friendly? Or can you make this one that is more clickable or whatever you want? That is fine. I'm talking about when you put in, here's my event, here's this, here's that. Can you please write a press release for me to send out to blah, 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 blah. And not one ounce of it came from a human being. That is a problem. It's a problem. And so you really have to understand that a lot of newsrooms and their AI policies is not completely anti-AI, but there's an element of ethics that they have to abide by. And if you're doing AI 100%, it does not increase the chances of your release really getting picked up, published, or them doing anything with your story. So I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. It could. You could have a really great AI story angle that gets popped out for you and good for you. But I'm just saying, just to be on the safe side, please do not do 100% of your release in AI. They notice it. They're not telling you. I got the water cooler chat. I'm telling you. So please, please, please avoid it. If you can. All right. Number 4. This one's hard. I'm choosing between number 4 and number 5 right now. Let's go with number 4. Number 4. Here's either the text or the phone call that I'll get. Leah, the event was not good. Yeah, that's the tea. The tea is you have hyped up the hell out of your event, your fundraiser, your gala, your whatever it is, right? Whatever you have going on. And you have either pre-promoted it in the press, on the media, on the radio, on the morning news, whatever you've done, or you've invited a bunch of media to attend your event and it's not a good event, whether it's disorganized, whether the food was not great, whether normally the number one thing that I see with these events is that they're disorganized, or the way that you described it on TV or on the radio or wherever else did not fit what they showed up to. So it's kind of like the Temu thing is like what I ordered versus what I got. And what they're getting is your event on Temu. That's what it is. Okay. And so I'm not kidding you when I hear this way often than I should. Leah, and it comes with a sigh. The event was not good. And it's normally down to disorganization. It's down to maybe the budget just wasn't there. So you skimped on decor, you skimped on the swag bag, or you skimped on whatever, or you lied about the event selling out or the number of attendees when really it was on the struggle bus. Like maybe you said 100 people, they showed up, only 20 people was there. We have to stop doing that. Be honest with yourself and transparent about where the event is actually at. Even before recording this episode, I actually was going to record another one that popped into my head about not always having to do what everybody else is doing, especially if you're a nonprofit. You do not have to throw $100,000 gala to fundraise money. Okay. And a lot of you guys are doing galas and fundraisers because you see everybody else doing it and you're putting on horrible events. And the problem with doing this is, let's say you go on the news and you promote it. Somebody sees it, they buy a ticket, they attend your event. A lot of them go back to the news stations to tell them what they experienced because they feel like the news station had a responsibility not to promote something that was horrible. Or you have the media attending your event, and so they're there, and then it ends up not being good. What do you think is going to happen the next year if it's an annual event when you either want to promote it again or invite them out? They're not going to tell you to your face that they felt like it was absolutely horrible. They're just not going to go. And then they all talk to each other. They're going to be like, girl, don't go to that event. You know, the decor was falling off. There wasn't any decor. We ate off of paper plates. Like they will talk to each other. So events, you have to make sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed, and stop trying to keep up with the Joneses if you cannot afford to do the event properly. Okay, especially when you're promoting it in the media and the press, and especially when the media is actually going to be present. Okay. Last but not least, our fifth water cooler tea. It's not really just tea. It's something that we've already talked about on this show. It's just like preparedness. I'll get a text or a call like, oh, this just wasn't good, with the segment, and normally it's because maybe the person was nervous, or maybe the person should have had a spokesperson do the interview versus themselves. And we've talked about that on this show. If you are a person that has RBF, resting bitch face, if you're a person that doesn't like people, if you're a person that gets extreme nerves that can translate across camera, until you can get media training and really iron that out, it is okay to delegate your segments, to delegate your press appearances to a spokesperson that can speak on behalf of your organization. That is okay. I see it happen all the time. I actually have friends in the business that's what they're paid to do, is to go up to the news station and appear on behalf of some of these organizations that do not have folks that want to be in the media, and that is okay. I think social media and our narcissistic social culture has conditioned us to think that everybody's a star and everybody needs to be in front of the camera. And I'm here to tell you absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The smarter move is, if you know you're not supposed to be in front of the camera and you know somebody can do it better from your organization, to put them out front. It doesn't make you any less of a CEO, any less of an executive, any less of a thought leader to not be the one that does the interview or on camera. But we're so conditioned to, I have to be the star, even if it damages my brand. We're just not thinking straight. And so if that is you, it is okay in the meantime to get a spokesperson until you get the training that you need to confidently appear in front of the camera, to confidently do these interviews and communicate in the way that your brand or your organization or your subject matter expertise needs to be communicated. That is okay, because what you don't want is you leaving the station, and the moment you walk out that door, they're like, oh, that wasn't good. This is going to take 50 edits. Oh my God. And what they are saying to themselves is, if you repitch them and you want to come back, or your publicist repitches you, they're not going to book you. They're not going to book you. Sometimes you only have one shot, and you do not want to screw up that one shot. So put your ego aside and really evaluate whether you're ready. If you're not ready, it is okay. Get some media training, practice, do some video podcast interviews to really get comfortable being in front of the camera or being interviewed. Or you can even do some audio podcast interviews like you're listening to right now, and get really comfortable just speaking and communicating your thoughts. And then, this is particularly for live TV, and then go live, which I think of as the point of no return. Because when you screw up, it's live. It's not a pre-tape where you can do it, 20 times and they correct it and they make 1 million edits. No, it is live. So you screw up, the whole world knows you screwed up, right? So it is okay to delegate to a spokesperson until you get to the point that you're ready, because you don't want them to say, oh man, it was terrible, and then you not get called back. Okay. So those are my 5 water cooler tea that I've heard literally from the mouths of journalists and other writers and media and press, and kind of the things that are reoccurring. And so I wanted to deliver that message to you. Take it for what it is. I made a lot of jokes during this episode, but a lot of this really is serious, because what you don't want to happen is that you don't get asked back. So definitely, just take note of some of these things, and you're going to be all right. So with that being said, we're definitely going to wrap this episode up. On our next episode is a special bonus PR Yourself with Leah Frazier episode, as I bring on my friend Philip White, who I know from the fashion industry, but he is also another Bravo TV fan. We have fandom together. Philip is back from BravoCon, and we're going to be talking all about what he saw at BravoCon, the tea from BravoCon, what's upcoming for Bravo TV, our Real Housewives, our Southern Charm, and just how if you are a big Bravo fan, how you can snag he took pictures with every single Bravo celebrity. So he's going to talk about, what is that process like? What is BravoCon like? Just in case you're interested in going in the next upcoming years. And remember, if you're curious about how BravoCon came to be and how it grew to the amount of impact that it grew today, you can go back several episodes. I interviewed Julie Safer, who her firm actually does PR for BravoCon, and really hear how it came to be. It's actually our number 2 most listened episode on this podcast. So definitely go check it out. We're going to have Philip on a special bonus episode if you're a Bravo fan, so you're not going to want to miss it. But you know what to do. If this episode helped you out, you're going to want to you're going to want to share it wherever you're seeing it. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Apple or Spotify or wherever you're at, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a rating and a review, and connect with me on Instagram at the Leah Frazier on my personal Instagram, or at PR Yourself Podcast. Feel free to send me episode suggestions. I listen to every single one of you, and just keep it locked in here. I got a lot of good stuff for you. And until next time.